Why Mario Barrios? I mean, why not, right? I mean, he has a WBC title. People always got something to say about me not being a world champion, but somehow making more money than them, you know? I mean, I just got to flex on them one time. But, so I'm here just to, settle that noise a little bit and just really show everybody that when I'm at my, best, that I could really do damage to anybody at 147. So
I want to go into the fight. I want to test his heart. I want to test, how bad, he really wants to be in there. Because you're right, me, Devin, even Rollies, we all have very different styles. But I'm the type of fighter, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna press you. Like I'm gonna whether I get dropped, whether I get hurt, I'm gonna be in there, trying to hurt you. I'm in there with bad intentions. I don't go looking for a knockout, but if it comes, it comes.
The moment they sat down on camera, you could feel the energy shift instantly before a single punch was ever thrown. Ryan wasn't speaking like someone hyping a fight. He sounded like a man protecting his entire legacy.
I'm gonna spice it. The only thing I'm worried about him for is Joe don't stop fights. So if he's getting cut, he ain't gonna stop the fight. I'm just telling you, he ain't gonna stop that fight. I know you don't want it, but he ain't coming to save you. I tell you that. Like Joe is one of those guys. So, because I predict it's gonna be a bloody fight. I'm being dead serious. I think it's gonna be a lot of cuts. I'm just saying. Mark my words. And I think he's gonna need to stop it, but he won't. But hey, you're a warrior. You're an Aztec warrior. So I'm right. So, ooh, it's gonna be good. Oh, cannot wait.
When he asks why Mario Barrios and then answers it himself, pointing to the WBC title, that isn't matchmaking logic. That's frustration about legacy spilling out in real time.
Yeah, and the fact that Joe's training him is hilarious to me. I know all Joe's techniques. He don't teach but putting your hands up. So I'm about to put a beating on these guys bad to the point where I'm probably going to retire both of them. Joe and Mario Barrios. They're probably never going to work a boxing fight after that. And I told him already on the other show I was on, yo, when I knock him out, this is a bet. You can never wear that Canadian tuxedo again. I'm tired of seeing that. It's retired. I got something for him, so, it sucks for Mario. He made a bad move there. Joe made a bad move, and now I'm going to just put a stamp on both of them. Back.
Ryan knows the not a real world champion narrative has followed him like a shadow. You can hear the irritation underneath the confidence. Then he doubles down, talking about making a statement at 147 and doing Barrios like no one else ever has. And I'm sitting there thinking, that's a bold claim against a guy who doesn't break easily.
Ryan, you said you don't know which version of you is going to show up.
Yeah, I mean, I know which one's version is going to show up this fight. At the end of the day, that rolling camp was just a hard one to get by, I was doing a lot of stupid, not treating my body like a temple before that. I mean, obviously I had a year layoff. But it's okay, it's behind us. I'm ready to I position my body to be in top form. I feel in top form, top shape, and that's what he's gonna get, the best version of me.
What's different about this camp?
Man, we just started early, man. We started way out, didn't wait for somebody to give me a date, and made sure that when I came into camp, I was already ready to fire off, and everything's clicking perfectly now.
What really caught my attention was Ryan brushing off Joe Goosen training Barrios, basically saying, I know Joe's system. I've been around it, and calling it a bad move. That psychological warfare dressed up as casual confidence. But here's the catch. If you know the system also knows you. That blade cuts both ways.
At the end of the day, bro, they're all going to get it bad. Like, I'm gonna do them so bad. Joe's a known mole. Not to get deep in it, but he's a mole. I talk he's a traitor, and I got something for him come the press conference for all of them. They're not ready for this type of mental warfare. I've been in the long car rides with Joe. I know everything about Joe. And Mario, he's just gonna get whooping like no other. That's just what that is.
Then he shifts gears, talking about his hand being 100% and how he's mentally different after coming out of a dark period. Suddenly, the tone moves from bravado to redemption. This stops being about winning rounds and starts being about changing how people see him. When Ryan says he doesn't care about the crowd, the trash talk, or the noise, that he's locked in, you can feel the weight behind it.
What do you think Joe's telling him about you?
I mean, same thing as everybody says, you know, left hand, make sure that's up, you gotta protect it, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what I would imagine he's saying. Gotta take that away. It's probably, you know, little things like that. You know, they drill a lot of just keeping the hands up all day long. So it's like here, 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 here. But, you know, this freestyle type of boxing, you know, with technique is gonna overwhelm this man.
That's either the calm before a defining performance, or the calm of someone trying to convince himself just as much as everyone else. Either way, that interview didn't feel promotional. It felt personal. And right as Ryan's energy is all fire and belief, Mario Barrios steps in sounding like a man who's already accepted the storm is coming.
I know, you know, everything that Ryan has been saying, you know, he's saying, you know, he's focused, you know, his team is saying that he's the sharpest he's ever looked, you know, all this stuff. And all I can really say is, you know, I hope so, man. You know, like, I can only hope, you know, I step in there on fight night and I get the best version of Ryan. You know, because that's gonna bring the best version out of me, and then, you know, that's only gonna benefit, you know, the sport of boxing. You know, I'm looking, you know, to have a sensational performance. I want to have a very, I want to make a statement, you know, with this fight. You know, I haven't had, you know, the type of victory, you know, defending my title yet, and, you know, that's really, you know, what I'm looking, you know, to get, you know, out of this fight.
Sean asks Barrios straight up who's more dangerous, a 46-year-old Pacquiao or Ryan. And I love Barrios' response. He doesn't take the bait. He says, it depends which Ryan shows up. That's the most honest scouting report possible. He's preparing for the best version, not the chaotic one. That's veteran thinking. Then he casually adds that he actually wants the sharpest Ryan. That's quietly competitive. He's not dismissing him. He's inviting the challenge. But the tension really spikes when he brings up the influencer streamer persona. It's not loud trash talk. It's controlled skepticism. He's acknowledging Ryan as a legitimate boxer.
Like, Ryan is a legitimate fighter, like a legitimate boxer. But he definitely has, like, that influencer, like, streamer, like, persona. And, like, that's really the only thing that I don't fuck with. And it's not that, like, I don't like him. It's just everything they do, or the way that they move is, like, they move it in a way that, like, if they know there's always, like, a camera on them, or there's always, like, trying to do something for, like, clicks or likes. So yeah, you know, I did call him a payaso, and it was just because, you know, the whole, like, his antics. I know that he has his you know, his history with Joe.
Just one with a camera first aura, and that energy doesn't sit right with him. When Barrios admits he called Ryan Paso because of the antics and build-up drama, you can tell it isn't hate. It's irritation with the theatrics. But the line that stood out most was when Barrios said he wants to test Ryan's heart, not his speed, not his power, his heart. That's psychological warfare masked as professionalism. He even talks about pressing forward no matter what happens. That tells you the game plan. Pressure, pressure, pressure. While Ryan is chasing redemption, Barrios is talking identity and durability. One man wants to prove he's changed. The other wants to prove he's always been this way. That contrast is dangerous.
Yeah, you know, I have a lot of questions, you know, that I'm looking, you know, to ask, you know, on fight night. You know, I want to go into the fight, you know, I want to test his heart. I want to test, you know, how bad, you know, he really wants to be in there. Because, you're right, me, Devin, even Rollies, we all have very different styles. But I'm the type of fighter, you know, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to press.
And just as Barrios is talking about pressure and bad intentions, Conor Benn slides into the conversation like someone already scouting the winner. When he calls Ryan a loose cannon, I lean forward because that isn't disrespect. That's a stylistic diagnosis. Ben gives Ryan full credit. Gifted, entertaining, fast, athletic. But then he pairs it with unpredictability and hints at unprofessional tendencies. That contrast is loud, without him ever raising his voice. He's reading behavior, not highlights. When Ben says Ryan should win on paper, but questions whether he actually will, bringing up the Raleigh fight and outside-the-ring distractions, that's layered analysis. Ability and application are two different battles.
I would tune in to watch a Ryan Garcia fight. But when you have them qualities mixed with someone who's, has true Mexican blood, fights with heart, fights with pride, and fights for his country, and fights for something more than clicks and views, it's hard to pick who's going to win. Really, you think Ryan should win, and Ryan should win, really. He should. Really?
Then Ben pivots to Barrios in a calculated way, framing him as a guy with heart, pride, and depth beyond clicks and views. It's respect disguised as comparison. He doesn't sell Barrios as flashy. He sells him as grounded and quietly dangerous. He even points out that Barrios has lived in the trenches at welterweight for years, while Ryan is still trying to stamp his identity there. I love that Ben refuses to fully pick a winner, saying it's hard to call when explosive entertainment meets traditional grit. That's a fighter's take, strategic, not emotional. Almost like he's already imagining a future fight and weighing commercial value against in-ring reliability. Ben doesn't sound hyped. He sounds calculating.
If I'm not going to pull my eggs in one basket and bank on Ryan winning, or even wait until then. We could do the Rolly Romero fight in May at the O2 in London, and then the winner of Garcia Barrios, in June, July, for a unification. So or we just go to Rolly and then fight the winner.
And once that loose cannon idea hangs in the air, the conversation zooms out to coaching and structure behind the scenes. Suddenly, Ryan returning to Henry Garcia stops feeling sentimental and starts feeling either strategic or risky, depending on how you look at it. When Paulie says father-son dynamics can go either way, that hits immediately, because with Ryan it's never been about talent, it's about control. Chris Algieri pointing out Ryan's massive personality isn't a throwaway comment. That's the heart of this camp. The real question is whether Henry can ground him, or if he's just familiar comfort. Then things get spicy when they mention Ryan struggling with strict structure, preferring relaxed, living room-style training. That's not just critique. That's a red flag wrapped in politeness.
You have a star, an athlete that can work with most of the trainers that have been around you, great trainers, but you just can't work with them. Then you come back to your dad, who hasn't been around training you for a few years already. I think this is just a situation where let's keep it up in the house. Let's do it our way. Let's go see what happens and make as much out of it.
Meanwhile, Robert Garcia suggests the setup keeps everything in-house because Ryan wants control. That's a heavy observation, without throwing a punch. And while analysts debate Ryan's chemistry, nobody questions Barrios' discipline. One side is emotional recalibration. The other is steady preparation for a title defense. Robert even admits Ryan still has the speed and power to knock Barrios out, which is absolutely true, but he separates that from the idea that the father-son connection is some magic solution. Translation: if Ryan wins, it's because he's special, not because the system is perfect. Barrios is being prepared like a problem to solve. Ryan is being rebuilt like a project to stabilize. Same ring, very different energy.
That's part of the reason he's not with them anymore, because they had to put up rules. They had to say, this is allowed, this is not. We're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. And maybe Ryan didn't like it. That's why he's, those are three of the best trainers out there. You can't pick anybody better than that. And you're still not with any of those. That just, tells you that he wants to do his thing on his own. And that's why he's bringing in the dad now. He still has the skills. He still has the power. He still has the speed to connect and knock Barrios out. He could do it, and he's going to.
When you step back and look at the full picture, this doesn't feel like a simple clash of styles. It feels like a collision of narratives that have been building for years. Ryan Garcia isn't just fighting Mario Barrios. He's fighting perception, reputation, and every criticism about focus, discipline, and consistency. Every interview and camp decision screams redemption. Barrios, on the other hand, isn't chasing reinvention. He's leaning into who he already is, durable, steady, mentally stubborn. That contrast makes this fight volatile. Analysts question Ryan's structure. Fighters question his unpredictability. Coaching debates add another psychological layer before a punch is thrown. And here's the truth no one can ignore. Raw talent versus controlled pressure has always been a dangerous equation. If Ryan is truly locked in, sharp, and emotionally centered, his speed can flip everything in seconds. But if Barrios drags him into deep water and forces a disciplined fight, the story can change fast. This isn't about who's more skilled. It's about who stays stable when the moment gets heavy. Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to US Box Pro.